Back at it, you already know. Like a torta with some bad habits. Bye up, bye up. Let's get straight to the intro. Welcome back to Gunners Collective TV. If you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. Push that little old button, man. Put your notification bell on all, so that way you're directed in the direction of the dope content that the gun is kicking. And I'm very, very humbled for all the support, man. Thank you so much. So I call Cap. I call Wave Cap. I call Baseball Cap. I call the LA cap that Loose Cannon always wears. And there's a lot of people that say he isn't from LA. Look, there was a situation allegedly that went on in the MDC, in the Federal Detention Holding Center, where, or institution, or wherever you want to call it, where Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and Big U are allegedly housed. Right now, I'm still trying to get over the fact Loose Cannon and Brick Babies are supposedly cellies. Right? Usually, when you're on an indictment where there's a lot of he said, she said, that she said, that he said, or even she said, you know, where a lot of people are saying a little too much, there's usually a separation there, a keep separate, or, you know, they try to keep people in at least different cells so that way you can't get your story straight, so you can't communicate. But, you know, these guys just are in the spotlight, man. They cannot stop talking, even in the federal holding situation that they're in, awaiting court procedures. You know, I know they got bail hearings this Wednesday coming up. And, you know, I don't know who laced these guys up. I don't know if Big U, being the big homie, allegedly did the correct job in letting these brothers know what time it is. But, man, they're supposed to keep their muzzle on and their teeth on grit, on lock, because the more that they say, the more that they're talking about their situation and exploring opportunities to be in the limelight on social media, the more fucked up this case is for everybody. These guys cannot keep their mouths shut. And, of course, people like Adam and Lush and whoever's on No Jumper is going to continue to broadcast Poetic Flacco exactly what's going on with these guys. Now, it is news, man. For those that tune into these guys and know of Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, and Big U, they want to know what's going on. So if they were allegedly attacked in the situation they're in jail, of course, it's news. It's newsworthy. But at the end of the day, man, Loose Cannon's wife seems to be all up in the Kool-Aid, all up in the mix. If she's so disgruntled, if she's so hurt by what he's doing and by the situation these guys are putting themselves into due to politics or gangs or whatever, then why is she speaking on it and shedding light on it? Because at the same time, she's enabling them not only into getting more time, but into fucking off what they got going on right now. You know, it's a trip. But allegedly, Big U, according to her and what she's saying, Big U, Loose Cannon, and Brick Baby were attacked in the jail. Now, some people are asking, what the hell is Big U doing chilling with the guy who calls him Big Useless all the time? Loose Cannon. A guy who calls him Sweetie. A guy who tried to put him in a situation where he tried to throw a Nipsey Hussle murder case on Big U and continues to do it all the time. The video is played every day. He has doubled down on it. What is he doing chilling with Big U in the day room or on the yard? That's a question I scratch my head and ask myself. What the hell is Big U doing chilling with this dude? Okay, now, I can understand Big U's situation, though. You know, Big U's like, hey, little homie. He's on his Debo shit. Hey, you need to zip it up before we have to flip it up, right? And I could understand him being like, hey, there's a time and a place for everything, and right now is not that time or place. You got to play it cool, right? This dude right here is one of the dudes that they may use against you. They're obviously using video he put on No Jumper. They're obviously the conversations being had because of something he spoke on. So Big U may be in the frame of mind of, man, I got to stay hands off this dude. If I beat up on him, if I rush him, if I do any of that, that makes me look guilty. You know, maybe Big U's trying to get up out of there, trying to get a bail reduction, trying to do something. Okay. As far as Brick Baby goes, Brick Baby's the little homie, of course. Brick Baby is a chameleon. You know how Brick Baby is on the dead homies. He's going to talk shit, but when it comes crunch time, he's going to tell Big U, man, I ride with you, homie. Right? It just is what it is. Now, we know that Brick Baby and Loose Cannon in the past have had a lot of animosity, but prior, and I think it was actually probably a good thing, prior to them getting locked up on this RICO case and being charged with whatever charges they're being charged with, they, because right now it's all over the place. We all know Big U's charges, but Loose Cannon shit is like flim, flam, flip, flop all over the place. And Brick Baby got sealed indictments and all kinds of other stuff. You know, these guys are sellies, allegedly, according to them. But one got sealed indictments, don't even know why the hell he's there, and Selly don't know why he's there. Can't read his paperwork because he can't even read his paperwork. Shit's sealed. The other one, right, sweetie, right, has talked a whole lot of shit. Look, I think it was actually a good thing that these guys went on No Pumper, you know, minutes before they were arrested, because that gave them at least a chance to air some shit out, talk face to face, be in the same room. Now, for those of you that watched the video of when they were on No Jumper, Brick Baby seemed to have a foreign object in his waistband, allegedly. You know, it could have been a Lego. It could have been whatever. And you can see the eyes of Loose Cannon were like, oh, sweetie, sweetie. He was very nervous and apprehensive, but it worked out how it worked out. You know, the Great White Hype, Adam was able to bring these two hardcore gang members together to sit down and air it out. Damn. What Adam does for his community. Just ask the feds. So at the same time, luckily they were able to at least have a conversation, because now they're sellies. Remember I said a long time ago, man, in videos, the last thing that you want when you go to jail is the first thing that you get. You get there, you're like, damn, man, I hope they don't serve that fucking bullshit-ass green bologna. Boom. Bologna sandwiches all week. Damn, homie, I don't even like apples. I hope I don't get one today. Here, you want two of them? Right? It's like that. Like, fuck, bro, I hope I don't run into that big-ass dude that was here last time. That fool was choking people out. Let's get A. Open 1A. Boom, boom. Next you know, Big Oos is at your door like, oof, oof. This is how it goes in jail. Karma, energy, everything is spoken into existence. So allegedly, Loose Cannon's wife, who, man, I understand about a woman holding it down for you. I respect that. You know, I've had women in the past. Usually I cut them off when I do jail time, prison time, because at the same time, anyone who's in your corner who rides with you is doing time with you. You know, they might be getting dick on the late night, but they're still doing time with you. You might be Loose Cannon getting dick at the late night. We don't know. Brick Baby on the dead home. We don't know what to. But anyways, they're doing time with you. So usually a righteous real motherfucker who's doing some time, who understands, man, that he just needs to focus on what he's got going on, will say, hey, look, he'll give her the option. You can rock with me if you want to rock with me, but I'm focused right here. I can't be thinking about you, the kids, and what's going on out there in the streets, because that's just going to fuck my time up. It stressed me all out. So me, myself, I used to always cut him off at the gate, like, hey, I'm going to just do me, you do you. If it works out when I get out, then it was meant to be. If not, let's get the factor that I'm writing while I'm in here. She's meant to be. Boom. Move over, Bacon. It's time for Sizzling to take over. That's it. But I can see Loose Cannon's girls holding it down for him. But she's doing it in all the wrong places. She's fucking up. You know, it's all about the limelight. You know, instead of being humbled and giving updates up to a certain point, I mean, there is no rules or regulations. Everything is being put out there. You know, in one light, she'll say, oh, she's sad because Loose Cannon and Brick Baby are making mistakes and they're getting involved in things they shouldn't be prior to their bail reduction hearings or bail hearings, and that even Big U was involved. And she'll leave an air of mystery. And it's all for clickbait. It's all for views. You know, it's all to keep the story relevant and going. And there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers like myself jumping all over it. But the fact is, these are things that should never be spoken on, because these are things that are going to hinder their getbacks. And these are facts. You know, Loose Cannon needs to check his old lady and tell her, hey, look, you know, you shouldn't be speaking on this. You shouldn't be speaking on that, because this right here could possibly, you're bringing it to the light. Like whatever they have to deal with in jail is what you have to deal with. Hey, jail, prison, all that is a whole different animal. It's a different beast compared to the streets. So you'll see some rather fucking peculiar, is that how they say it? Peculiar teams that come together for whatever. Now, we all know that these three men allegedly represent the same neighborhood. Okay, and maybe where they're placed, there are rivals. So yes, there might become a certain point where, hey, friends of a feather, guys of a feather flock together, right? Or your enemy is my enemy. How does that shit go? My friend of the enemy is my friend. I don't know how it goes, but I know that you got fucking some friends in there. I don't, with these guys, I don't know. They were all enemies, friends, enemies, frenemies, BFFs, the Mean Girls Club. It's a whole lot going on. I know this Big U's in a situation where he's like, damn, man, how they get me on a tier with these two motherfuckers? One of them, his old lady, is broadcasting a word for word every single thing that's going on because they continue to call her from these phone calls will be monitored and recorded. The phone calls are monitored and recorded. So the feds are getting the information. They're pre-gaming. They're pre-getting it before we're getting it on social media. By the time we get it, they already know. They already done pinpointed all the whole conversation, what they want from it, so that they can give it to the district attorney, the United States district attorney. You ain't dealing with fucking some dude from LA just, doing this thing. You're dealing with the United States district attorney, which is funny because I remember on Power Whack 100 and these guys talking about, and even Loose Cannon talking about how Big U was going to get the same district attorney as the Nipsey Hussle case or this and that or whatever the fuck they were saying. The fact is it's a federal case. So there's no way that dude could be a state district attorney and a United States district attorney unless he moved on up in the game. It's not the way it works, man. That's why a lot of this shit is cap that they're saying. And those that know who have been locked up and done real time can understand the wave cap. Okay, the Murray's Grease wave cap. This is how you know there's certain lawyers that can work certain spots, certain places. You're not gonna have there's a state bar and a federal bar. You're gonna have different things going on here. Okay, that's just the way it is. You're not gonna have the same fucking prosecutor who worked a state case and got shitty cuz in fucking jail forever work a federal indictment case. It doesn't work like that, right? Anyways, allegedly, according to Loose Cannon and his wife, his lady, right? There was an incident that went down where Big U, Loose Cannon, and Brick Baby on the Dead Homies were attacked. Now, I don't know if this is true. If they were attacked, the way she made it sound, and again, she left us at a cliffhanger. She's going to be releasing the video today. Everyone's going to tap in, oh shit, what happened, right? And it's going to be something where someone got scratched in their butt or patted on their ass hard, and that was that. But allegedly, they were attacked or they were involved in an incident and an altercation. And she left us at a cliffhanger saying that Brick Baby and Loose Cannon definitely were involved in the incident and that Big U was involved in the incident to some degree. Now, when asked, was it at the direction of Big U? Like, did Big U put some motherfuckers on these guys? She said no, they were together, basically. So I can understand, man. From the outside looking in, it seems like, oh man, get off where you're mad at on site. Big U, these motherfuckers telling on you. They told on you in the past because Big U said it on his way to jail when he mentioned Whack 100. He mentioned Loose Cannon, Brick Baby. He mentioned a lot of dudes talking about speaking this bullshit into existence. And I would feel some type of way. But I myself have been in a situation where I felt someone said a little too much. And here's how the situation went down. And so we pull up to a spot. I see him. Now, automatically, this is the way it is. I can attack. I can get off. I can hold it down. But then I'm done. It's a wrap. Any type of getbacks, any type of love that I thought I had, my case, I'm going to fuck it all up because, of course, they're going to utilize that in court. Hey, this guy attacked this guy for telling on him. So, obviously, he must be telling the truth, right? And then that could, if you fuck the dude up, he can get very disgruntled and start telling other shit he may know. So, you have to fucking hold it down, right? And I can see Big U doing that because I've been in the same situation where it's like, fuck, bro. I'll catch you on the fucking rebound, punk, right? And then you're in the day room chopping it up like, bro, what's happening, bro? We're all in this shit together, playing the role. You know what I mean? You got to play the smooth run. And we just got to stick together, bro. We got to say nothing. Don't say nothing, right? Loose Cannon's like, nah, sweetie, don't worry. I don't say nothing. My wife says it all, right? Yeah, well, whatever. What's going on, sweetie? And then, of course, you got Big Baby on the Dead Homies. I ain't saying nothing. No, I ain't saying nothing. Where the heroin at? On the Dead Homies. Look, that's just how it's going down. And Big U's like, yeah, don't say motherfucking word. You heard? Nothing. 600's doing that all for us. And that's how it goes. And then some dudes are tripping. Because according to Loose Cannon's wife, it was dudes from the other side. Now, when she says the other side of me, let me explain to you in jail what the other side means. There's two different meanings. The other side in street gang politics definitely means the opposition. So being that these three gentlemen allegedly are from Rolling 60s, okay, neighborhood rich Rolling 60s, the rich Rolling. Now, because they're from the same neighborhood, there may be a lot of Hoovers. There may be a lot of A-Trays. There may be a lot of, I don't know if they get along with the East Coast, but East Coast, whatever it is, opposition that feels some type of way about the neighborhood Crips, right? Y'all seen that short when they walk in? I'm from neighborhood Crip. Which one? All of them, right? So there might be someone who's tripping on all of them, so they have to run that face. See, usually, and here's my thing. This is what throws me off. I know in LA County Jail, from everything I've heard, I've never been there. I don't plan on going there at any point in time in my life. You never know, though. You know, I mean, I might be at the Santa Fe swap meets wiggling, and with the 213 Cholas, and next thing you know, whoop, they got me in that one dude that says Seek One locked up, and fuck, don't tell me, homie. You know what I mean? Let's get. And so say I'm right there, but what I heard in LA County Jail is if brothers go into certain modules, they just run their fades, right? They run the fade. Of course, if you told on someone, you did something bad, someone dirty, they're going to jump on you, and you're going to be rolled up out of the situation. But for the most part, the blacks will give you that fade in the module, and then it's all love. Because crippin' is crippin' until crippin' ain't crippin' no more. On the dead on, right? Paru, what you mean crippin' is? Shut up, whack. We heard the big. you didn't want the crippin' to get to crippin' when you got to, because you wanted your jaw to stay right there. Oh, you heard, right? So, anyways, that's usually how it goes. So I don't understand them being in the federal holding detention fucking center, a jail, and then dudes from the opposite side rush them. Like, that doesn't make any sense. These dudes, especially someone the stature of Big U, allegedly Loose Cannon and Brick Baby, wouldn't they get a fade? Like, get a one-on-one, get your friendly fade, rushed, jumped on because they're from neighborhood? I don't buy that. Now, the other thing of being from the other side, meaning maybe they ran into some guys that were no good. Or maybe they're the ones that are no good and they ran into some GP dudes that were good. Have you ever thought about that? Has anyone ever brought that up? See, usually when you're attacked for a reason. It's not for your crippin' or your blooding or your north thugging or your Sureño fucking fighting, slugging. It's not for any of that. Usually it's because you fucked up. You did something wrong. So when you're attacked, maybe they got these guys in a pod separate from everybody else because maybe they're going, gadoosh. Maybe they're doing the Orlando Anderson. Is that his name? Whatever the fuck that dude's name is, the one that can rap, sing, fucking do backflips. Him, the one that got Diddy by Diddy before Diddy knew he was Diddy, right? That one, Orlando Brown. I say Orlando Anderson. I keep thinking of the guy who's allegedly killed Tupac. Orlando Brown. So while they're doing the gadoosh, you got to understand this. Maybe they're in a situation. That's why they got Brick Bay. Now it's starting to come together, the puzzle, huh? Now, I wouldn't think Big U would be in that situation, but according to everyone, 600, whack 100, they say Big U been saying shit, right? I don't know, man. I respect Big U enough to not insinuate or throw that on his jacket because I've never heard that before until quite recently. But no wonder Loose Cannon and Brick Baby are sellies. Big U's in the next cell over. Maybe them three are in a pod kept separate from the general population. Maybe the GP ran into them and got GP on them. Do you understand what I'm saying? The other side. Look, I could be totally wrong and off base, but there's more to me say out here. If they're being attacked and not just giving a righteous head up fade, we're talking about Big U being attacked and not getting a fade? That's Debo. That's King Crip, allegedly. He should be getting the fade. Doesn't matter what neighborhood it's from. He's respected from everybody. But jumped on with Brick Baby and Loose Cannon? Nah, sweetie. Right? On the dead homies, that don't make sense. I don't know. You take it for what you will. But the main thing that should be focused on right here, more than anything, and this is facts, his Loose Cannon's wife needs to shut the fuck up. She needs to know her role and shut her mouth, like The Rock would say. You know what I mean? Because her candy ass is going to get everyone dicked up. It's going to get everyone fucked up. Telling everyone's business, talking about this stuff, man, is going to fucking impact their time tremendously. But, again, this is me coming from a place of knowing jail. There's a reason why they were attacked, if they were even attacked. You know, if not, why do they keep coming with, and why does Loose Cannon keep coming with these bullshit artist ass stories, you know, that could fuck everyone up? Like, bro, shut up already. You know what I'm saying? If he was my selling and he kept coming up on social media saying this shit, and again, Big, you might not be having action to see that. He's going to find out later. They're going to be like, hey, man, Loose Cannon was saying this, his wife was saying that. He's going to be like, what, cuz? Right? Like, yeah. Big Baby's going to be like, oh, the dead homies, you got some age. Right? That's it. Anyways, with that being said, let me know what you think. Does my theory make sense? Do you think they're all three kept in a certain area and the GP got at him? No one's ever thought about that. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people, man. And I know people are like, hell nah, cuz the homies would never do shit, bro. Man, I can make it make sense. Believe it.